sweat off my face. What's up guys, I'm Tony Wodarck. I'm a wedding photographer out of Southern California, and I wanted to do a follow-up video to my Canon AE1 video that I made. It was on how to shoot a roll of film. It's been my most popular video that I've made to date. I wanted to do the level 2 to this camera, so if you got this camera, you shot it, and you've kind of enjoyed it, but want to step up to the next level, I would say go for the Canon EOS 3. There's a few other cameras that are equivalent to this, or better actually I should say. The Canon 1N and the Canon 1V are both a little bit better made, but similar to this. If you shoot Canon digital, you're gonna want one of these because basically you can shoot film, 35mm film with this camera and attach a Canon digital glass. So this is a 35mm film camera, and you can take your Canon EF glass and attach it, and the autofocus works. I won't take a photo because there's actually film in here, but the autofocus works really fast and really nice, and it's just awesome because if you have a lot of money invested in nice Canon EF glass, now you can shoot 35mm film with it, and it's amazing. The beautiful thing about film is with DSLRs, it matters about your sensor and the lenses that you use. But with film, everyone's kind of using the same film stocks, and then it really just comes down to what kind of glass you have. So if you have really nice Canon EF glass, now you can shoot that using whatever film you like. I just love the ergonomics of this too. If you shoot like a 5D Mark III or 5D Mark IV, this feels very similar. Same kind of controls, just similar feel. You'll feel so used to it as you're shooting, you'll check the back of the camera to look at the LCD screen and it won't be there. I do that all the time. Some features about this camera: it's got 45 autofocus points in the viewfinder, so kind of the full spread, pretty similar to like a 5D Mark IV. And it's got, the Canon EOS 3 has this eye control viewfinder where you can calibrate it to your pupil, and wherever you look in the viewfinder, that's where the autofocus will be. I don't personally use that, I just set my autofocus where I want it to be, but people that do use it, they call it like the mind control reader or mind reader. It's really good, so people love it. I wear glasses, and so I just don't want the reflection and all of that to kind of screw with the focal point, so I just want to control the autofocus point by myself. Other things, as you take a shot, it auto winds to the next frame, so you can go through a roll really quick. I use this at weddings, and it's just really nice because it shoots really fast and really good autofocus, like I mentioned. When you get to the end of the roll, it will auto wind for you too. I'd say the only drawbacks to this camera is it's pretty loud. It's got a little bit of a plasticky feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap, but it just doesn't feel like a metal, like nice camera. Like the 1N and 1V are a little bit better built, but they're gonna cost you a little bit more. This camera goes for about $200 to $400 on eBay, and then I see the 1N for anywhere from like $100 to $300, but it only has 5 focal points if that matters for you. Otherwise I'd get the 1N, and then the 1V is the best one, and that goes for like $600 to $800. They're all pretty similar though, so it really just depends on what you're looking for. The 1V is weather sealed. They say this is slightly weather sealed, but I know the 1V is like actually fully weather sealed, so if that matters to you, I'd go for that one. The battery is a 2CR5 battery. It lasts about 50 rolls or so, shooting 36 frames per roll, so it lasts quite a bit of time. Up here shows you the frame count. It's got a light, and yeah, it shows you shutter speed and aperture and your frame count, and then you can choose your autofocus point. You can do one shot or AI servo, and then inside the viewfinder it tells you the shutter speed, aperture, and it has a built-in light meter as well. So pretty nice controls and everything. This is just a great camera, and if you shoot Canon digital glass and you're interested in film at all, I'd probably first pick up the Canon AE1. If you haven't got one of these and shot with it, I would do that first, just because you manually focus, you have to wind the film, you choose the aperture. It just has that old film feel, and so it's a lot more fun, and it just gives you a better experience. I think it makes you actually feel like you're shooting film. This feels like you're kind of just shooting your Canon digital glass, and it doesn't have that kind of nuance and just novelty of an old film camera. So I would say start with this. I'll link the video that I made on this one if you haven't seen that yet. I'd start here, but once you've kind of outgrown this, or you want to kind of leverage all the nice digital Canon EF glass that you have, then I'd upgrade to this guy right here, the Canon EOS 3. That's it. If you have any questions about this camera at all, please drop a comment below and I'll answer them as much as I possibly can. I'll also link to the Ken Rockwell article. He kind of goes in depth about all the specs and everything. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy it.